Welcome to the mutual fund series, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing the Edelweiss MSCI India Domestic and World Healthcare 45 Index Fund. Wow, that's a long name, isn't it? So what is this fund all about? Essentially, it's an index fund which is going to have 25 stocks from the healthcare sector in India and 20 stocks listed in US from the healthcare sector. The premise of the fund is very simple. Due to COVID, healthcare awareness, preventive healthcare awareness has gone up in a big way, and the fund is trying to capitalize on the innovation that is happening specifically in the US and across the globe, with India being the largest producer and exporter of pharmaceuticals in the world, and the government having a huge amount of spend on pharmaceuticals, plus India being one of the fastest healthcare markets. Health insurance penetration is extremely low in India. So the fund is really trying to capitalize on all these aspects which bode well for healthcare stocks. So let's see how the fund is constructed. Well, the fund will invest 70% into India, and they're going to buy the top 25 stocks by market capitalization. 30% of the fund is going to be invested in healthcare stocks which are listed in the US. Within this, it's going to be top 5 stocks based on market capitalization in various subcategories like pharmaceutical, healthcare equipment, biotechnology, and life sciences. When we look at the healthcare constituents in India, you will find top pharmaceutical companies like Abbott, Sanofi, Dr. Reddy's, Sun Pharmaceuticals. You would also find hospitals in here because they are providers of healthcare. So you have Apollo, Fortis, Dr. Lal's Path Labs, which is a testing laboratory. Of course, companies which are involved in life sciences like Divi's Laboratories or Syngene, and companies like Biocon, which are involved in biotechnology. In the MSCI World Healthcare constituents, you would find companies in the pharmaceutical space, of course, Pfizer, Novartis, Merck. Healthcare equipment would mean companies like Abbott. Life sciences, tools and services would include companies like Agilent Technology. And in the biotech space, you would be looking at companies like Biogen or AbbVie. Most of these companies are going to be in the large cap space. Typically, the mid cap exposure in these companies is going to be in the range of about 15 to 25%. So, should you invest in this fund? This fund falls under the thematic category because it basically follows a theme. It has sectoral exposure to healthcare stocks. Now, the issue with thematic funds is that they tend to be following one particular theme and they turn out to be very, very concentrated. Further, the theme that is being invested in needs to be able to play out, and this needs to be able to play out sustainably over the long term. The other issue with investing specifically in healthcare theme could be that stocks in this category have already given great performance this year. I mean, they've been one of the top performing stocks, certainly in the Indian markets. And you're not sure how much more these stocks are going to move because I think a lot of it is really going to be dependent upon the COVID vaccine coming out. And of course, many other factors like FDA approvals and stuff like that. This fund follows under the very high risk category as far as the riskometer is concerned. So my take, well, I do not recommend investment in this fund because I do believe that the best pharmaceutical stocks can be found in multi-cap portfolios. You do have multi-cap funds available which take exposure to overseas stocks as well. And you're better off trying to bet on this particular sector through an existing but more diversified fund. Of course, being a fund with international exposure, there is currency risk that is associated. The tracking error also in this particular fund could be higher because of the exposure to international stocks. So I would say, as such, please stay away from this fund. It is really meant for those people who want to take a very, very concentrated exposure into healthcare and use it as a tactical allocation. So it is certainly not a fund which is meant for core allocation towards financial goals. It is a fund meant for people who want to take a tactical allocation to this particular sector because they believe that this sector is going to do well in the next couple of years. And even for them, they need to be ready to exit the fund if the theme doesn't really play out. So stay away, it would be my advice. Make sure you click on the bell icon to subscribe. We do look forward to hearing from you. Till then, bye bye.